Who's even listening to this stuff anyway?
You are Locked On Big 12, your daily podcast on the Big 12 Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to Locked On Big 12. I'm Drake Toll from America's #1 clickbait podcast, Locked On Big 12. Thank you for making this show your first listen every single day. But why do you make this show your first listen every single day? It's just clickbait, garbage, and trash, and that guy tilts his head too much, and he's typically recording in a hotel room with a janky setup, and he's got a $69 nice microphone. So what's the point in listening to this? Today, let's have that conversation. It's a Friday. I'm happy. The vibe is high. But if the administrators of the Locked On Podcast Network social media feeds could fire me based on the comments and DMs they get, maybe they would. It would save them a whole lot of time. And I think it's important for you, the BYU fan, the Cincinnati fan, the Texas Tech, the Baylor fan, to understand why I do what I do and why I love what I do and why you should listen every day and make this show your first listen every day. Because you read a title that says Utah is leaving for the Big Ten, done deal. That quote, done deal, came from a source, and that source was a stupid one. Utah's not actually going to the Big Ten. And my goal as an entertainer, not a journalist, but an entertainer, a podcaster, is to entertain you with stupid, silly ideas and the banter that should follow those. When JT Wistersill joins, when Cameron Stewart joins, when TJ Pittenger joins, those conversations are never world-breaking. Those conversations are not for me to tell you something that I know from an inside source, and I will never be the first one to claim to break news, but I will always be the first one to react to it. When your team wins big, when your team loses hard, when the referees screw you over because they love to do it in the Big 12, you'll see me right there on top of it, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, hosting this podcast because I love it. And not only do I love it, I feel like I owe you, those who are the loyal listeners of the show, an explanation for why I do it the way that I do it. So in essence, this is a numbers game. If, let's say, Cincinnati or West Virginia has a huge win in football, they knock off number 5 Alabama, and my title is West Virginia beats Alabama, which a lot of times you'll see that kind of title from local journalists or newspapers who are trying to do podcasts and post YouTube videos. But for me, you get West Virginia, all caps, shocks, Alabama, SEC dead. Referees tried to give it to the Crimson Tide. You're going to get something along those lines. Now, when you open that show, when you open the show that says that Utah is going to the Big Ten, very quickly I tell you, Utah is going to the Big Ten according to an idiot, according to someone who doesn't have sources, according to someone who's trying to break the internet with stupid news. And from there, I make fun of it in hopefully an entertaining way. So this is to get you in the door, right? So here's the explanation that I give a lot of times when other hosts reach out who are in this sphere and they're like, dude, why are you so clickbaity? Why do you do things the way that you do? One, I'm having fun. Like, I genuinely enjoy this show a ton, and I have a lot of fun doing it. It doesn't feel like a job, and the positive interactions that I get are awesome. Two, if I do a show that says West Virginia beats Alabama, BYU beats Alabama, TCU beats Alabama, and 1,000 people click on it, cool. But if I do a show that says TCU stuns Alabama, SEC is dead, referees tried to give it away, and that show gets 10,000 views, then let's say that only 10%, typically I run a lot of YouTube analytics, let's say only 10% of people are hanging out after the show is over to watch a different episode of mine. Genuinely, between 8 to 12% per show are actually going to listen again. A lot of the people who stop by are first-time listeners who just get it in their YouTube feed, they click on it, and you might not see them again. So if it's 1,000 people versus 10,000 people, and it's 10% that you get to retain, certainly the headline that's going to get you in the door is what will have 9,000 extra people introduced to me, to the show, to the possibility of staying, to the possibility of seeing me tilt my head in either direction, and hopefully at some point in time commenting on that. There is a pattern to the success and the fun and the enjoyment that I have when it comes to interacting with you. I don't read a ton of comments. I don't. I wish I could tell you I read them all, but there are thousands every week, and most of them are, I hate this guy. I hope he takes a long fall down a short well, a short fall down a long well. I get a lot of those. My mom reads every comment, and she sends me the nice one. So if you said something correct, you said something nice, which is also probably correct. She will get that to me, and it's much appreciated. But the ones that say this guy has no idea what he's talking about, Cornelius, guy out there who comments on every single video, which I love, by the way. I would love to know the guy's backstory. For those, I just don't. It's tough for me to sit here and do a show every day with the goal of entertaining you. I entertain myself a lot. The guests entertain me a ton. That being the goal, I want to get you in the door. I want you to fall in love with the show. Does that mean that you got to get past some weird packaging, the big words, the heavy titles, the poppy thumbnails, the rumors? Yes. That's the request that I make of the listeners of this show. If you really enjoy it, if you really want to be here for content that's engaging, for content and so many times it's, a ton about BYU, a ton about Utah. They are heavy in the Big 12 news cycle. Can I recommend, if you want a podcast that talks Big 12 golf, that talks Big 12 baseball, that talks Big 12 softball every single day, Philip Slavens, native of Arkansas, lives in Arkansas, and the 1012 podcast, spectacular. The dude's great. If you want someone who talks daily, hard-nosed, journalistic college football, Locked On College Football is there. Locked On Sun Devils, Locked On Cougars, Locked On Cougs, Locked On Baylor. Those are the hosts that are giving you the ins and the outs of your specific team every day out of this conference. For me, it's the top storyline. Maybe that's BYU 2 days in a row. Maybe it's Cincinnati getting left off the table for 2 weeks in a row because nothing really big has come out. And those are the tough decisions you have to make when you host podcasts for an entire conference. But I love deep diving into every Big 12 team, every Big 12 fan base, speaking on this conference, and just getting you in the door. I promise you, this is my promise to you as someone who wants to keep trust, as someone who wants to be your first listen every single day. I won't lie to you. Like, I really do think by 2030, Clemson and Florida State will be gone from the ACC. That's not a lie. I really do think that BYU and Texas Tech NIL leads this conference. That's not just some overblown thing just so I can blow hot air up your skirt, get you here, and have you listen and make a couple dollars. No. This is me telling you exactly what I think, oftentimes packaged in a way that you might think is weird, but I'm never going to lie to you when you click on a video. Clickbait is a term that people get misconstrued. They think clickbait is this lie to you. They think clickbait is, I clicked on this video and it had a big title. And so now I feel like I've been lied to. But no, what clickbait truly is if someone puts the title up and says, Utah is going to the Big Ten, and then they open the show with, I have sources telling me Utah is going to the Big Ten, it's happening tomorrow. Or they open the show and they say, hey, everybody, you see that big win that Kansas State got over the weekend? And you're like, well, I just clicked on this to listen about Utah going to the Big Ten. You're not even talking about that. That's what clickbait is. It's a lie to you. It's a lie about some source somewhere, my sources, or it is this title that has nothing to do with the video itself. For me, you're always going to get immediately on the nose exactly what's there and a breakdown of why that title is there. That's who listens to this. That's why I do what I do. That's why it might tick you off some days, but I'm just having fun, man. And I hope that a lot of you are having fun too. Like, I devote a lot of time and effort into this because I love it and because it means so much to be able to have an audience like this. 1 million views in March. And I don't know if that happens without, again, that math, getting 10% of 10,000 in the door compared to 10% of 1,000. And they're the little things that I ask you to get past for us all to get there. That's all. Hey, today's show is brought to you by Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K. Why? Because I'm a big fan of getting a brand, like an Amazon branded TV or any branded TV, and having a Fire Stick. It's also an Xbox to run on any TV and make it a gaming and entertainment hub with Fire TV Stick 4K devices. No console required. Grab your paired controller, subscribe or sign into Xbox Game Pass, Ultimate EA Play included. You're ready to play. Dive into hundreds of premium titles. College Football 25 to Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is gaming made simple. With Wi-Fi 6.6E and auto low latency mode, advanced technology, Fire TV Stick 4K delivers smoother, more responsive gameplay with lightning fast speeds. You need to stay competitive. 4K streaming, 1.5 million movies and TV episodes max, Prime Video, Disney Plus, Netflix, more. very affordable too. It's more affordable and easier to travel with, allowing you to take you or your kids' games wherever you plug them in. Hosts with hardcore gaming experience across our network are using Fire TV Stick 4K right now. At Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible control required. Available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K, 2nd Gen, Fire TV Stick 4K Max, 1st and 2nd Gen, and Fire TV Cube, 3rd Gen. That is Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On. All right. That was all. Bye, everyone. I love you, whether you want to be loved or not. I do. This has been It Always Will Be Locked On. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Don't say grande.